of their temples? What commanders tell the soldiers in their service?
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, servitor, Astartes or Eldari Coneheads, and welcome back to the channel. Long time no see. I can assure you there will be more content soon, but today is gonna be more interesting than ever before on this channel. I am happy to showcase you 5 cards of the new and upcoming Tempest expansion. And oh boy, it's gonna be epic. You will understand soon. So then, let's start and claim together that victory.
For the chapter and Lord Gilliman! We march for Macragge!
So, we're starting simple and easy into today's reveals. The common tactic Sons of Macragge will create a random troop with courage into your hand. As for this card, I have both abdominal pain and questions. In short, this card is so bad that I would even gradually choose another trio in the event selection if I'd seen it appearing. But with very low changes, you could turn this card into an interesting addition. Most importantly, remove this random. Let the player choose a troop with courage. That removes the kill factor of this card immediately. Because as for now, we have way too many cards in the game that are just unplayable and have courage, which I really don't want to create. Also, it doesn't really fit into the Ultramarines Legion, for they are everything but random. Their Primarch is Gilliman, who wrote a book into the very last detail to prevail randomness from the muster at the start up to the final stage of a battle. There is another small change you could do, which I will mention later in the video.
For the chapter and Lord Gilliman!
Coming to the second common card in my list, we have the Vesparin Command Squad, a card that shall provide us with more supplies. It will draw us a card whenever we trigger courage. I think this card is already better than Sons of Macragge, but it has its flaws as well. Generally, Ultramarines already have good supply tools and the Vesparin command can't really take up with them. Of course, a lot of them will move to Legacy, but I'm sure that new ones will come. Overall, I think it's too slow as it is right now, with equal stats to the cost and no way to trigger the passive by itself. Improvement suggestion. Give it a rally that triggers the draw, or a courage ability. For my part, a useless one that doesn't do anything but triggering the own card draw immediately to make it somehow contest the other supply cards.
Target located. Flying into position.
Being the first rare card, the Assault Squad Sergeant Gallorn flies into play with an interesting ability. Next to the obligatory Unstoppable, he will stun the highest unstunned enemy. And yes, Ichi especially pointed that out, that it's unstunned enemy. As far as I see, Gallorn is indeed a very interesting card, and it even gets more interesting considering the last card that I have to show you today a bit later. Overall, stun is a goddamn hell annoying combat control, and it gets even more annoying since we don't have many ways left to remove it, due to most of the cards have been moved to Legacy mode. So I can see Gallorn being played in courage-based decks.
Let the roar of our cannons herald their doom.
Next, we have the Sicaran tank Vindicta. And oh baby, look at this beauty. Forget all that common stuff we had yet and witness true damage. It most probably will replace the Praetorian Prime we had until now, and holy, I can't get enough of this thing. It comes into play with flank and improves itself with cleave 3 when being played with courage. Of course, I don't have to tell you that you will always play this card into an existing board while having less troops on the field, so the cleave is almost ever to be seen on this tank. But you know what? You haven't even seen the best part of it, for it is settled in today's last review. Ladies and gentlemen, servitors or starters or whatever, here we have today's final card, and I love it. Finally, we have other ways to trigger the courage of our troops, but not only can you use this card to trigger it from an overwhelming board, but also to trigger it twice in one turn if you have been outnumbered. And the best part of it, you can always choose when you are going to attack with a warlord and are not bound to, for example, the resolution of the Mantle of Ultramarine. Some additional thoughts of me to that beauty. What actually came into my mind first was, can you consistently make sure your warlord attacks even multiple times in one turn? The answer is complicated. Yes, but no. If you somehow are able to gain Skilled Rider, then you have a happy birthday. Of course, there is Khorne's Favor as well, but it's a one-time event. Greatest Duty is also a good combination. But most importantly, I actually haven't seen one of the warlords at the time of production. So there are chances to gain an aggro attacking based warlord like Remos, which may even have its own battle honor. For those of you who are concerned of it being too slow, you have to put on the Commander Farsight glasses. Ultramarines, at least the Courage theme ones, wants to play from behind to trigger the trait. And I think that this card is one of the best tools to fall behind a little bit by giving up tempo and then come back even stronger with multiple courage triggers in one turn. Going back to our previous reveals, when we look to our beloved Vindicta again. Flank, 7 attack, and cleave 6. That might sound a little bit OP. That thing just removes a whole half of the enemy's board. And, as you might know, cleave also hits the warlord. Have a good time tanking that ever-rising damage while being stun-locked by Gallorn. One last addition to the very first card we had, the Sons of Macragge. We are already said that the card gets heavily improved by removing the random tag right at the beginning. A second thought I had was the Ultramarines are maybe one of the most remembering legions. They basically just fight for honor. What could make a huge difference and make this card very interesting is when you would allow it to also create legacy troops who have courage. Imagine playing Stellok Arton or Captain All-Chaos together with Gladius. That would turn this card into a very playable one in courage-based decks. I can already see Shad tapping his fingers together as a legacy player to claim
victory.